Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Fallout Roundtable. This is a place where diverse individuals discuss various topics from the Fallout universe. Join us, the conversation has already started.
Welcome to another episode of the Fallout Roundtable. I am your host, Maverick Stone, and today we got a very special episode. Let's get started. I would like to introduce who we have with us today. We have Jaxus and Sassy, and then we have a very special guest. We have Shredz. Everyone say hi.
Hi.
Hi, guys. How are you?
Okie day.
Fantastic. How are you?
Just grooving. You know, it's a Thursday, so it's nice.
Yes, it is a Thursday. You know what comes out
Friday.
tonight?
What?
Loki comes out tonight.
Oh, I just got caught up on last night.
I haven't watched the second episode yet.
So
Oh,
how can people find us?
Oh yeah. Before we get started, people, how about you rate, review, and subscribe, and go to our YouTube channel, The Fallout Roundtable. You can also find us on Twitter at FalloutRTB, and then how about you shoot us an email, falloutrtb@gmail.com. Woo! So
You
the
survived.
topic. Woo! We landed on the
landing.
runway safely this time.
He stuck the landing.
Gotta give him a break,
stuck
folks. He
the
hasn't done
landing.
that in like a week or two. We've been on a little sabbatical, I guess.
Yeah.
So I guess today's topic is supposed to be about the food. The food, yes, the food, the stuff you eat in the Fallout universe. And we brought in our own expert here. Shredz has her own little show where she has a cooking contest. So if anybody was going to know enough about food, I would think that Shredz would be our home expert here. And I've been using stuff on the web pages and going, okay, cool. Because in reality, 9 times out of 10, when I go to eat food in the game, more specific, food in playing 76, I am an herbivore. So I can't even eat any of the meat products. So what do I end up eating most of the time? Corn soup.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can live off of corn soup.
Brain bombs and cranberry relish. That's what you should be eating.
Well, yeah, but see, my little farm right next to my camp, I've got corn. I've got a little bit of everything, but corn is the most abundant thing you got. And you just snatch up a bunch of corn real quick, run down, grab some dirty water, slap them together, and you got corn soup.
You do.
So
And this is the Fallout, the Vault Dwellers official cookbook by Victoria Rosenthal. You can pick it up on Amazon or at a bookstore, probably. It's just fun stuff. She just makes real life recipes and turns them into game food. She has in here chicken marsala for the people watching. I'll hold this up. And she crosses out chicken and puts in mutant mantis. It's delightful. But it does look good.
Doesn't Shredz, don't you have your own cookbook as well?
I do. Yes.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Different IP, but we're all about it. I can't wait till it comes out.
Yes, definitely. Well, won't be mentioning that just at the moment. So
That's okay. We're still looking forward to it. Oh, but you also have a cookbook for Gato Pub.
I do. I also have the Elgato Pub cookbook, which is basically it's all very much Latin cuisine. So there's a lot of Latin influences and Caribbean. So kind of keeping it in the tropical nature.
And then I'm sure you mentioned which tequila goes best with each meal.
I do.
Yeah,
there is actually an entire tequila section.
It's very good.
So whatever cookbook I make, there's got to be some kind of libation section because it is a pub. You can't have
that is true
without libations. Yes, indeed.
And why wouldn't we want awesome drink recipes?
That is true. So we're chatting about 76 food.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, because I honestly.
Well, her show's based in 76.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if 3 and 4 had like any recipes that isn't in 76. To be honest with you, I think they
Did they really have any recipes?
no, I think it was just you had iguana bits as an option. Like you found it
Yeah.
in somebody's refrigerator, and like,
Y-
did they
everything
even
was
have
pre-made.
Mylar cakes or
Every-
anything?
Everything was pre-made,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It wasn't anything that was more recipe.
Until you got to
bake
76,
sugar
you didn't
bombs
really
and
make anything.
skin
Yeah.
flag
Yeah.
cakes and
Yeah, exactly.
Salisbury steak.
Yeah, I mean, I think so. First off, big shout out to Victoria Rosenthal. She did a fabulous job at the with that cookbook. Absolutely great. There's lots of really fun recipes in there. And then I don't know if you guys have seen out there in the Twitterverse. There's been lots of. I mean, obviously there's like Starfield. Everybody doing like
Everybody's making
I think it was like for like a month. Everybody's doing chunks, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's doing their own version of chunks.
right.
And then there's also some people out there. I know Mrs. Fallout does a few things, and then especially the sodas like Vim and Quantum. And there's so many people that actually do these. Just it's so inspiring, right? I mean, there's a lot of home chefs out there that are inspired by all the craziness that happens in all these in video games, especially. And the thing about that too is that Victoria now has multiple cookbooks across the video game sphere. All the video games that have recipes and have food type things is actually quite expansive.
I was just thinking is with that cookbook thing that she's got going, I wonder, I got to talk to Steven Statz, who's the owner of the Pioneer Saloon, who is doing a New Vegas event, and he's actually changed his menu up to have Brahmin burgers and things like that. And I bet he might be quite interested in taking a look at some of those recipes, because it might be something he could add to his menu that could make him additional revenue.
I would say, yeah. I mean, iguana bits, sarsaparilla stuff. I mean, it's definitely along the lines of Fallout, Fallout 3, New Vegas and stuff. So I mean, I think that would be a thing.
Which that event is coming up real soon, guys. Like less than a month now.
Yes, both Jaxus and I will be there.
Real quick, when we're talking about shout outs, shout out to Pete Hines, who has decided to retire. I don't know if you guys saw that, but yeah, he was with Bethesda for 24 years, leading the charge there.
Long time.
And it makes you wonder kind of, what's going to happen in the future there. With 24 years of experience in the leadership part of creating all these games, you wonder where, 5's going to end up. And what good or bad, who knows?
Kind of changes
without his leadership there. Yeah. But thank you for everything you did, Pete.
Big shout out to Pete for sure. I think most corporations like that, especially with a creative side, there's a vacuum, right? I mean, he was the chief marketer, and so you have a vacuum, right? And hopefully somebody has been kind of moving up the ranks.
Well, you always teach somebody to take your place.
That's
usually
always a successor. It seems like.
You're supposed to. You'd be surprised how many places don't, but you're supposed to.
It's true.
So 76 was like recipes and food in 76, right? That was like one of the fun things about it, getting all the recipes and obviously all the buffs that you get from the different types of food, and you wanted to make sure. I mean, a few players I know, Osiris the Virus, he used to put out, this is a long time ago when we're cranking for XP. There's like all of these like sheets, like what you can eat. Like there's stacks of things you can eat to get the most XP when you're doing like an XP crunch, right? Again, like you're doing a weekend and you need to some people are getting up 50 levels. I mean, some crazy amount of levels just with these food buffs. Obviously cranberry relish is a biggie, right? But
what was the Brahmin milk one? I know the Brahmin milk has sort of
Brahmin milk just takes away rads.
Is that what it was? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, it does it
without removing your without removing your mutations.
Okay, that's what it was.
For early players.
Which is the same thing that you get from Nuka grape, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and Nuka grape also gives you those caps. It gives you a little bit of a barter bonus. Charisma.
Awesome.
But yeah, so I So I think it was like 2 years ago at this point. Yeah, it must have been 2 years ago. Yeah, I came up with an idea. I wanted to do a cooking contest in the game, right? So obviously I did catfight nights and I wanted to have I love making I love making events where people are engaged in a game, right? And it's funny because I've had this conversation with Jessica Starr multiple times, and before Starfield came out, and Starfield being a single player, massive, expansive game, is kind of like I thought, all right, I'm gonna get into Starfield, and it was feeling good, and I don't get me wrong, I love it. It's huge, right? It's just massive. It's got everything, all these great components, but I miss people. And I and the
Communities
we- and the
yeah.
yeah, and the weird thing about it was that when I first started with 76, I never played with people before. I was always like, I was played solo, Fallout 4, Doom, all the games, all solo, that never even dawned on me. And then 76, and all of a sudden there's all these people. I'm like, oh, how the hell do I play with all these people? And then I got used to it, and the community grew, and got to meet some people, and the community is growing, and made some events, and people were inside, and it made a pub. It's like, oh, let's play it, let's make this into like a community place for like a pub, and who'd go into a local bar, and da 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 da. And so the whole thing just kind of grew from there. And then all of a sudden, like, now I miss people. So now it's just like, if I play Starfield, I'm like, well, I'm lonely. I'm freaking
I
lonely.
get that.
Like,
I get
where are
that.
these people?
And
Where
that's been my argument from the get-go. When everybody talks about, oh, put it back to single player, put it back to when they're talking about Fallout, and I'm like, as much as I enjoy just playing a game and
Mhm.
getting immersed into something, there's something to be said about having that community element and being
Yeah.
able to have those interactions with everybody. And yeah, okay, so sometimes you get your knuckleheads that don't know how to act.
Right.
But the
Right.
reality is you've got a large community of friends. Like
Yeah.
there's so many different groups. I've got people that I've played with that are very adamant about like not using all the odds and ends inside the game and things like that. And then I could go and hang out with you guys and go bar hopping, and
Yeah.
or Sassy and Star, you guys do a lot of like the camp building, jumping from place
Yeah.
to place kind
Yeah.
of things. So it's like there's so many different things that you can do and interact with that it's like even though the like gameplay, you can get to that point where you're like, well, I kind of did that, I kind of did this, but there's always something to do if you're creative enough in this open environment. And I can't believe that there's so much backlash on the fact that the game is multiplayer, which to me is the ultimate
Yeah.
kudo to the game.
Yeah. It
Can
was
I say
it,
something with this?
yeah.
Yeah.
So, how I feel about it, I was on that. Let's bring Fallout back to single player because I didn't have no friends. I still don't. I mean, besides us here and outside of here, and like at work and but I didn't have the community in the beginning because I bought the game right when it came out.
Mhm.
In
Yeah.
that I was in that crowd that was like, bring single player. I don't care if you keep the map, but bring single player back. That was me. And then after I started playing, to be honest, I haven't played in like ever since the Wastelanders update, or a little bit after I stopped because of work being hectic and everything. But after a while, people were I was trying to do it all by myself, being a party pooper. Let's just say I was a party pooper. And people were walking up to me that I came across and said, "Hey, do you want to join our crew?" And I was like, "No," because I wanted to be alone and I wanted to be a single player guy. But
At least
after
you
a
thought you
while,
did.
yeah, at least I thought I did. But then after Wastelanders came up, I got the best of both worlds. I still got my NPCs and I got normal people, like other players. And
So
I do gotta agree, there are knuckleheads.
Yeah,
There
for
are
sure.
knuckleheads, but I feel like that's in every game, to be honest.
It
Yeah,
is. And it's
you know,
not
it
as
is.
bad in this game as it is in other communities.
Grand Theft Auto is really bad.
Yeah, I mean, it used to be, at the beginning, it was kind of bad, and the reason being, right? So you're missing the NPCs. And I think most of us were missing the NPCs at the
Yeah.
beginning, right? So when we got dropped into the world, we're just walking around kind of aimlessly, and there's nobody to talk to, right? It's just kind of you, and so there's nobody unless you spoke to actually somebody else, right? An actual other human being.
Yeah.
And at that point, it was just kind of like it took a while to really get used to it.
Yeah.
And I agree. It's like, the people you'd meet, all of a sudden you thought, okay, I'm gonna be friends with these people, and all of a sudden they destroy your camp, and you're like, what the and you blow up because now you got to go and you got to get all these resources. And back in the day, way
Yeah.
back in the day in beta,
Way back there.
way
Yeah.
back in the day, you really had to struggle to get glass and cloth.
For some reason, though, back in the
things.
day,
It
I could get
amazes me how
concrete like it
different
was
it is now
nothing.
from the beginning. I'm like, I was walking around today and I was just like, oh my God.
I mean, I remember the concrete that used to be able to, that I had to go get like on the bridge, on that bridge where you had to
Yeah.
yes, that's where they had the concrete bags in the back of that truck.
Oh
And it's just
God.
like, oh, I farmed that like nobody's business. And then I'm like,
Right? And every
oh,
time I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna fall and die. Because I mean, I literally get vertigo from, I mean, the graphics are so good that I get vertigo from it
yeah.
because I have fear of heights and I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna fall. I
It,
hate
it
that.
yeah, but I mean that's the thing, right? So then after a while the community just grew, and really the part I really enjoyed is actually the bar part where we got to have events. And I used to, just create the fight cat fight nights came out of, wanting to just have people. It came out of like having that bar, right? And like, what can we do in a bar? And at the time, I mean, now we have arrows that actually work, but at the time we had those dart boards, and it annoyed me to no end. We couldn't actually use a dart board, right? Actually, really
Right.
use a dart board. So I was like, okay, we can't use the dart boards. That's not going to work. We're not going to do this. So we ended up with the fights. And I just like making events where the community can come together and be competitive, because that was like one of the other things too that I think we kind of missed, is that we it's kind of a catch 22. Like, we don't want to be griefed, right? We don't want to
Right.
we want to be able to do our stuff, right? We want to be able to do what it is we want to do, and we don't want to be messed around with. Like, we don't want somebody to just come over here and just mess with us. But at the same time, we lose that engagement, that competition.
Well,
And
friendly
so
competition's good.
yeah, friendly exactly. And
I
that's
mean, rules are good, you know.
yes, rules are good. And it just felt like people were engaging a little bit, a little bit more, and the community was growing a little bit more. And so that's where all that came from. And I always wanted to do a cooking competition. And I remember thinking, like, working through it in my head, and then I reached out to a friend, to a friend of a friend. So at the time, Jack of Hares, at the Gato, he was working with, or chatting with, UXO guy, and UXO guy is actually a chef. And so I just ended up like picking his brain, like, okay, how, if you think this would work like this way. And also, he's also a 76 player, right? So we're chatting about how this would actually work. And so we're just bouncing ideas off each other. And I'm like, okay, I think I got it. I think this is what we're going to do. So that's where the idea for Claude came from. So, and everything's got to have a cat. Like, it has to have a cat,
Sure.
theme, right? So Claude.
It's El Gato.
El Gato, kind of, yeah,
Yes.
implicated.
Yeah, I don't
in
know
the
why
name,
it would
yeah.
have to have a cat involved.
Exactly, cat involved. So Claude came out of that, and it was basically a combination of, Hell's Kitchen. Got to have Gordon Ramsay walking in there, and
Yes.
it's raw, and Chopped. So Chopped, Claude. Kind of. Anyway,
I love
so
it.
yeah, so many recipes, and by the time kind of came up with the idea, everybody had every possible recipe there was, right? So at that point, everybody had what they needed.
Now, are these all in-game recipes, or
These
some of
are
these just made up?
all in-game,
Okay.
in-game recipes. But the thing is like coming up with the rules, right? Like, how do you make something like this into an actual game, as opposed to just, go make food. And so of course then that's where the rules come in, right? So what are you allowed to do? What are the points? How do you how do you time it and so on? And yeah, it's a super fun event to watch.
It is. It really is.
Real quick, folks, let's go ahead and take a quick break. When we come back, I'm going to start asking some questions that I've got. So, and then I'll be picking some brains here. We'll be right back after this message. Thank you. Ever wanted to be a content creator but had no clue where to begin? Come join me as I sit down with content creators that have already faced the challenges you're up against, as they discuss the tips and tricks that help them be successful. Here on The Content Creator's Guide, available wherever podcasts can be found.
Tell you right now, this is a fact. Everybody who knows me knows it's a fact. There are a couple recipes I do not have. I find them, I do not pick them up, and I do not learn them.
Okay, so I'm kind of this. All right, so I know the recipes, but whenever I pick up like mole rat meat, whenever I do the like if we're at a big event or whatever, and I do the pick up all the junk, whatever, I never eat pets. I never eat mole rat.
Yep.
And I don't eat bugs.
Yeah, I don't do mole rat chunks.
No,
not happening. I don't even know the recipe.
I do know the recipe, but
not learning it. Refuse.
To me, I don't know what it is.
She takes it a step further. She's like, don't know it.
I know it's like supposed to be considered like a shellfish or whatever, but to me, Mirelurk,
no, it's
Mirelurk
like
sounds disgusting.
Mirelurk. Oh, really? That sounds gross to you?
It just, I don't know, probably because it's, I don't know.
To me, it's the iguana bits. I won't eat the iguana bits either because I already know it's people.
Well, the Mirelurk is in Fallout 4 up in Fahaba, right? So I mean, it's definitely the crab and lobster. I mean, the crab and lobster situation up there.
Yeah, like I know what it is, and like in real life, if it was a crab or a lobster, I'm not real big on lobster, but if it was a regular shellfish, I wouldn't think nothing of it. But something about the Mirelurk seems disgusting to me, and I don't know what it is.
I think it's the sound
that they make.
It's a sound.
Maybe it could be it.
Disgusting.
Yeah, it's a horrible.
Nobody likes to hear that coming.
It is a terrible sound, to be honest. Yeah, it's a scary
am I the only
sound.
one that thinks a mole rat looks more like a possum?
No, you're not wrong. It looks like a naked mole rat.
It's a naked rat.
It kind of reminds me of this will age me a little bit. Do you guys know Kim Possible? Rufus.
Vaguely, because it was
too old for
after my time.
Yeah, after my time.
This will age all of us. Or it's after your time. There's a show called Kim Possible. Redhead girl.
Me, you're gonna have to go with like Tom and Jerry. Okay.
Bugs Bunny.
Yes, Tom and Jerry. I've watched that too.
Bugs Bunny when he still smoked.
Yeah. Woody Woodpecker.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, one of the characters had a naked mole rat, and it kind of reminded me of it. It kind of reminded me of that character, but a lot more mutated and a lot bigger. That's what it reminds me of.
Yeah, I was just curious. Is like, what's the most disgusting thing? Like, there's this game I play that isn't Fallout oriented, and one of the things they have was like this tuna fish melt thing that's like, tuna fish French toast, and I'm like, it's so I'm like, but you get a lot of like power off of that, and I'm like, yeah, why do you have to make food like that? Nobody can eat that crap.
They can.
Yeah, sham is another thing that's kind of like, I don't know. Now, when you say sham chowder, I think clam chowder, which I'm sure that's probably where they're going with it, but just the sham in the can. Seems gross to me. I don't know why.
Or cram, you mean?
Cram. That's it.
Cram.
Yeah, cram.
Cram. I don't know. I was calling it sham when
well, it was because it's supposed to be spam, right? So cram is supposed to be the Fallout version of spam.
I don't know if it's like stuff masquerading as meat or if it's
dude, maybe it's because I don't like fried spam with the rice and the wrapped in the seaweed thing, the Hawaiian
version
stuff.
of
I'm just like, no, dude, I don't get down with that, bro. It just tastes funky.
I don't do spam at all.
Yeah, I don't know. Not my thing, man.
Like mystery meat.
Now, what's
Yeah,
the
it's a-
most appealing sounding thing that you guys have seen on the menus? It sounds like you would.
Oh.
My obviously everything you would eat, you would have to like take the whole rads out of it, kind of thing. But like, what sounds like it would taste good?
Well, there's actually a venison dish that you do with radstag that has
Mhm.
berries. That sounds really good. It
I was
sounds like
just thinking of that.
yeah,
So it's
sounds
like
like
Is that like,
ragstag
is it
and
like a berry
blackberries or
compote
what?
or something?
yeah, it's like you got the starlight berries and you get those and there's yeah, it's great. And it feels like it's like the juniper berry type of mix that you'd get like if you went to Germany, like you
Mhm.
get
Okay.
the Jaeger and you get the whole the deer. I mean, yeah, because they do venison in Germany very, very well, with a nice little fruit compote. So yeah.
Was ist los, Fräulein?
Yeah, that's actually one of my. I mean, I would say
Auf Wiedersehen.
that's one of the tastiest. Cranberry stuff is always sounds tasty to me. A cranberry relish
cranberry.
always sounds great to me.
Well, it kind of sweetens up the pot, whatever it is, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I just love cranberry. It's got that nice tart, sweet
yeah,
flavor.
yeah. Feels like November.
Yeah. Can't have Thanksgiving without your cranberry relish.
my kids
is
love
correct.
having the sliced cranberry slices. You know,
Not out of
the
a
can.
can.
No,
Please
they
no.
love that stuff. I don't know. It's not my bag, man. Like
I
cranberries,
make it fresh from
I
scratch.
like it in something. Like if you go to is it Firehouse Subs? I
Oh
think
yeah, you want to know that? So the best sandwich. We speaking of cranberry, and I think I know where you're going with this.
yeah.
Is in New Jersey. So in New Jersey, there's a place called Milburn Deli, and it's like in the center of New Jersey, and they make something called a gobbler. And I swear, each time I'm down there, you got to go down. You got to get the gobblers. This thing is like on the large French bready, like sourdough French bready type thing, right? So you get the three slices. So they slice, right down. Get a little V shape in the middle, and then you get the two ends. And
Wow.
they put turkey stuffing. Yeah.
This sounds
It
like
is a
my kind of
Thanksgiving
sandwich
Yes,
already.
dinner.
turkey stuffing, cranberry sauce, and then they basically mayo both sides of the bread with a little bit of lettuce, and the thing is just like,
Oh,
damn,
You're like,
God.
Dang, dude.
how do
damn,
I eat
yes.
this
Like
thing?
Thanksgiving Day leftovers.
Where
Yes.
can I eat this sandwich? This
Yeah, I
sounds
think it was
delicious.
Jersey. It's either Jersey Mike's or Firehouse Subs is where I was getting these cranberry. It was during the holidays. You get it's like cranberry turkey. It's got a little bit of, like you said,
Huh.
stuffing in there,
Mhm.
and I think they put like a little bit of Thousand Island or something in there because I could taste something kind of
Tangy.
Kirby.
yeah.
Tang.
And
Yeah.
actually, I was surprisingly, it was really good because I normally I get Thousand Island and something. The only thing I'm thinking about is Burger King. You know?
Big Mac. That's what I think about is Big Macs.
Yeah, to me, Big Macs are the most disgusting sandwich on earth. I
I
just,
can't eat McDonald's at all.
it's just
I
like,
don't know about you guys, but I eat it at least once a week. I'm
You
sorry.
probably eat it all the time, but I can't. You get to a certain point in your life and you just your body's like, no.
your artery's gonna be like
Yeah.
charcoal, dude.
Body just rejects.
Yeah.
It's a lot less now since I've switched jobs, but when I was over the road, I'd eat McDonald's or truck stop food
You're
at
better off going
least
to a truck
once or
stop and getting a
twice a week.
salad.
Yeah, don't a lot of truck stops have like Arby's or Subways in them? At least the ones
There are a
I've seen.
couple, yeah. They
lot of
also
Walmart
have
McDonald's in 'em,
Denny's,
so I don't know if you trade it off.
IHOPs,
Yeah.
Can you make the
Arby's.
pies? I didn't ask
Yeah, you
that.
can make pies.
You know what I'm talking about? Like, the pies in the machine that never seems to pick them up.
Oh, the
Oh,
perfectly
perfectly
pie.
preserved pie. The answer is no.
No. But you can make like Starlight Berry
Yep. You can make pumpkin
cobbler
pie.
that's not a pie.
Yep.
Ooh, that's right, because
Yep.
you can grow pumpkins.
Yep. You can
Yep,
make pumpkin
pumpkin.
pie. You can make although it's interesting because part of the recipe, so like in Claude, so what I had to do as far as my research is I had to find every single possible recipe. And then what I did is I broke it up into 10 points and 5 points. So the 5-point ones are the things that you can make very quickly. Like if you get the an ingredient and another ingredient, boom, done. Or it's something like water, because still water you have to kind of like boil so you can get, so there's still a process you got to go through. Then 10 points are for those recipes that are a little bit more complicated. So where you got to find spices or salt or pepper, or you got to find, other components. Like for instance, like the cranberry relish, it has a few ingredients. So that got 10 points. So that's how it is. We kind of broke that up. But pumpkin pie is interesting because it has, if I'm not mistaken, it has one ingredient that's actually pretty interesting. You got to go to Flatwoods. You got to go milk somebody, because it actually goes through the process of actually making the crust. It's like, so
milk somebody.
Yeah,
Well,
Brahmin. You
you
gotta
gotta milk
okay.
a Brahmin.
I'm
I mean, it
like,
doesn't have to
Brahmin,
be
not a
Flatwoods, it can
person.
be-
You just walk up and like,
Not
yo,
a
homie,
person.
I need to.
Brahmin
Yeah.
milk.
I mean,
I
it
need
can be
some of that
Flatwoods, or it can be
milk.
the Wayward or whatever, but you got to milk a Brahmin
Yep.
because
Yeah,
you got
well,
to have
and the best place
Brahmin
to
milk.
go is the Wayward. I mean, you got
Yeah.
two of them,
Yep.
right? There's 2 or 3 of them there.
3
Two
of them, I think. But yeah, because half the time I go to Flatwoods and the dang things are dead because somebody killed them. It's like,
Yeah, that's kind of weird. Yeah, but they're picking up those ribeye steaks, so I get that.
well, I had to do that today. I felt so bad. I was like, I'm sorry, but it's a daily.
Making me kill you.
Yeah, my first
And I
experience
wasn't even
with
keeping it. I
cooking
had to
something
sell
was
it.
actually when you get to the overseer's camp, because
Oh yeah.
it's your first, go at it. And I'm like trying to figure out how this works. And I'm like, what do I have on me? And I'm like, trying to see what I had. And I think I had like 2 waters, and I didn't even have any fruit with me. And I'm like freaking out, thinking, where am I going to find something?
Well, now, but not back in the day.
Well, yeah, I don't know
Today,
about
there was
back
an
in the
empty
day, but like
corner.
I walked around like didn't even notice. Like I was just completely. I went across the bridge, like literally walked right past it, dude. I'm like,
You walked past the corn.
I go across the other side. I'm like, I can't. Well, what can I grab? Because this is like my first go at it, and I'm like looking around, and this is one of my blonde moments. I'm just like, I don't know. And I think I found like one blue blackberry bush on the
Oh
other
yeah,
side of the
yeah,
street.
yeah.
So I grabbed the
Mhm.
blackberry and I'm like running back. Okay, maybe I can do some blackberry and water. I had no idea about any recipes or whatever. And I got
Yeah.
across the street, and then I stop, and I'm like looking, like I'm like checking to see if there's any cars coming. Not really, but that's where I stopped. And then I just kind of turned my head to the side, and I'm like, oh my
All
God.
right.
Because I see the stalks of corn and everything.
Stalks of corn, yeah.
I just raped that thing of everything I could, walked over there, and I'm like, oh, I can make this and I can make that. And I was like, oh, corn soup. Done.
Done.
It's probably what stuck me on corn soup forever.
You know what, Jeff?
The
What's funny,
very
Jack?
first thing you ever made. You'll make it forever.
Yeah. What's funny is you mentioned something that reminded me of the beginning of the game, and it was blackberry bushes. There was a point in time where I used to joke about it, and I thought that is this, I mean, is this a show 18 and over, or is it?
Yeah,
Okay,
go
say
for it.
whatever I
We're
want.
good.
So I used to talk about the fact that we crap in our pants, just for the fact that the amount of freaking blackberries we would eat.
I know.
Because especially if you're in the Savage Divide and you're building a camp in the Savage Divide, and you're like, oh my God, I need food, and all the blackberry bushes, like just all
They're all over the place, I mean,
everywhere.
I find those.
Mhm.
That's probably the most common thing I find.
I was like thrilled when I would find some silt beans and like, woo, it's something different.
Yeah. Yeah, there's one recipe I do not have that I've been looking for, and I don't even know if it's out. I don't even know if they actually ever came out with it. The firecracker whiskey.
Ooh,
I don't know. I
Yeah.
know where to get the firecracker plants.
Yeah, yes. It's a firecracker berry whiskey that's supposed to go into I think it's a Manhattan or a highball. That is a recipe that exists in the game. It exists, but I don't think anybody has it. I don't think they dropped it.
That's wild, because I know don't have probably all of the drink recipes.
Yeah, that was part of Wastelanders, right? When Big came around.
I remember that when that came out, but I still am finding ones that I don't have. I bought one the other day and was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I don't have that.
I'm trying to see if I can see something here. Firecracker whiskey Fallout Wiki. See
Oh,
if it-
I'm already there. I beat you there.
Yep.
I beat you there. I already thought about it.
unused consumable item.
Yeah, no, it was never released.
Yep.
But it was supposed to be
It
in
was
the
supposed to be. Yep.
Wild Appalachia update.
Yep.
It's supposed to be wood, 3 corn, 3 boiled water, and 3 firecracker berries.
And
Ooh,
there's
unique
and you
effects.
yep, and you can make a whiskey man. I knew it was a whiskey Manhattan and an old fashioned. Yep. Those are the two
Mhm.
drinks.
So the unique effects were melee attacks trigger self-immolation, damaging you and your attacker.
Mm-hmm.
Ages into vintage firecracker whiskey.
You know, this would have been fun if they put this in the game,
Especially
Yeah.
if it had some sort of strange effect on it, kind of like the moonshine does, where you end up somewhere else.
or
Yeah.
like the Nuka Shine or whatever.
But just the fact that you hurt yourself and your attacker, I think is
Yeah.
fun enough.
And the reason, I mean, if you can imagine why it has actually wanted that. So when I came up with Cat Fight Nights, right, I was thinking about obviously there was like all the band cards I had to put out there and all the different scenes and to really and actually I had a couple friends, Shifty and Batty, who I used as my guinea pigs, and we tested out everything. We tested out to see which cards would be best, and what's going to have the worst effect, and what's going to give you an advantage, and what's not going to get. I mean, it took a while to get to the actual rules of that. But part of the concept was also like when the whiskey, so because of those features, there was a little thing in the back of my mind where we could have drunken bar fights.
Oh,
And
nice.
the idea, yes. And
That
so
would have been amazing if we could have
yes,
had that. And it's
it
like,
would-
I hurt you, I hurt me.
yeah, exactly. Right. So to see what the level is. So
Right?
depending on your build, if you walk in, you're a big guy, big tough guy, it does the strength being up to 15 with one of those whiskey, with one of those
Yeah.
whiskey drinks, like the Manhattan, is that going to give you an advantage? Or is it somebody who is maybe, not so much on the strength, but maybe they have agility and they take the whiskey? So I always wanted to kind of get the bar fight going to see how that actually would work.
Not only that, but see if
So
there's a
good.
diminishing return on things.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So if you hurt yourself more, are do you die before your opponent based on your build and based on the drink?
Like, is it some kind of like a gamble that you take? Can you kill
Exactly.
them before you kill
Exactly.
yourself?
and can you keep it going? Can you have 2 of those drinks? What is the
Additive effects.
yeah, exactly. And they never came out with it. And
I
so
wonder
I
if anybody's
about
ever
that.
done like a Nuka Shine hide and seek or something.
Oh yeah. So Toon does.
Toon
Well,
does
not
the-
Of course,
Yeah.
Toon.
Yeah.
Of course,
Yeah.
Toon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Toon
Well, I
does.
did a scavenger hunt. I used to do that with one of our groups. I would do a scavenger hunt. I would give them a big long list of random crap. I'm like, take the Nuka Shine, and then you have to come back with these things, and you can't fast travel.
I did the we do the wasted bone collector, which is kind of like a scavenger hunt, but I'm the one who drinks the Nuka Shine, and they have to find me.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I think that's cool because it's more like hide and seek.
It is
It
more
is,
like
yeah.
hide and seek.
It's
Yeah.
the opposite of hide and seek, pretty much.
Yeah.
Instead
Yeah,
of everyone going out and hiding, it's just the one
It's
person.
one
So
particular
do you
person.
turn your
yeah.
tag off then? So they
Yes,
can't see you?
I turn my tag. Yeah, so the wasted bone collector we've done for 4 years now, and it comes up in November. And
Okay.
I give out atoms, right? So winner, whoever's, so there's 3 runs. So I'm the one who gets wasted. So I disappear, but I have something with me. I have a bone of some kind. So either a femur or a skull or some other thing. And they have to collect it from me, but they have to find me. So I give them riddles. So they get these riddles to try to figure out, to try to triangulate where I am on the map.
Mhm.
And it's pretty funny watching, like, so, looking on the map and seeing the dots, like they're like
I'm
really,
bouncing around.
yeah, like bouncing around, like they really know where I'm at. And it's just like they go back to the riddle. It's pretty funny. And then once they get it, they have to run back to the bar.
Now, are you making these riddles up on the fly, or is this
I
something
love
you
that.
pre-did? Like you're like, okay, if I'm in this area, I got this riddle. I got a
Oh
riddle
no,
over
no,
here.
no. I'm very specific. So I pretty much have I do the riddles ahead of time. So I figure out where I'm going to be, type of thing, and then I make up the riddle.
See, you got riddles in the bag somewhere. It's like, oh,
I see her with like every location mapped out and a riddle written for every location.
That's
And
what
then
I'm
when she
figuring.
lands somewhere, she's like, okay, this is where I am.
Yeah, it's a
Figure it
Here's
out.
your riddle.
Yeah, it's a triangulation basically. So because I have to build a camp there so that they can actually find me.
Oh, you have
Yeah.
to do it. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
But it's still hidden.
It's still hidden. Everything's
Right.
hidden.
If you don't turn
Yeah.
anything on, they can't see it.
Yeah.
Because that would be cheating.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
it would.
I think that'd be fun.
That would be fun.
That would be really fun.
Yeah, it's a blast. It's a blast.
Well, now we all have PC, so if she does it on PC, we could do it.
That's true. That is true.
Oh, are you on PC now?
Yeah,
Me?
yeah.
Okay.
That's how
I
was
thought you were
able to-
PlayStation, right?
She's
Before?
Xbox.
Xbox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am Xbox, but I also have a copy on PC.
That's because we
Oh.
drove you nuts until you got it.
Yes,
That's how I was
because
able
you
to
guys
do
drove
the.
me nuts.
Excuse you. I'm recording. Please be quiet.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, it's all
I'm sorry.
Kid comes in here belching. It's gross.
Well, we didn't hear it. It
Good.
wasn't good enough.
Your mic's got the nice directions.
It's true. It just panics me. But no, we did the Halloween. Well, I've done a couple of the flash mobs.
Yep.
And she played the Halloween one the other day on Twitter, which was fun.
Yeah.
I just played that again.
Yeah, I was gonna actually pop up the Mothman too next week.
Ah,
Yeah.
I redid my Halloween camp. I made it really creepier with all
Nice.
the new stuff.
Very, very nice. Yeah, and
So we never got everybody into the game to do the float thing either.
It's still sitting there.
Yeah.
I talked to Jessica, so I think
Saturday? You guys we doing this Saturday or Sunday?
we can do. Well, Jessica was. I thought it was let me find it. I thought it was after I got back from vacation.
Saturday is the only time I got time during the daytime at
Well,
like
I don't.
afternoons.
Well, it's daytime for you. I don't get home until like 6:30 from work on Saturday, but that's
Yeah.
still daytime for you.
And then Sundays, that's perfect for me.
Because I told her I didn't think I was going to be able to do it, but then she said, "No, it's
So what's happening is that we're
you
recording
recording?
everything. Yeah. So
Okay.
we're doing all the visits to the camps and to the
Maybe
floats
that was
and,
it.
and recording it. Yeah.
Maybe that
We're
was
all
it. Oh,
gonna
yeah,
go,
that's what she
Happy
said, because
25th
she said, nah.
anniversary, Fallout 76.
Yeah, because we leave for vacation on the 7th and don't get back till the 14th or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I mean, other than that, oh yeah, that's what I told her. I said, outside of that, just let me know what's up.
Yep.
It's
So
like,
we're
And then all
yeah,
of
we're-
that's getting sent to Kenny, right?
Yeah, so Jess is doing a lot of the editing, and then we're going to record more on Saturday and Sunday, and others who can't make the actual with us kind of looking at it and talking about it. If they just want to record it, they can send those in, and all the stuff is then being sent to Kenny.
Yeah, see, we were going to try just do the recording part, but
Mm-hmm.
I can't seem to get everybody together in one spot lately.
it'd be
so-
better if Jessica does it because she's used, she's
Yeah,
already
but
got
maybe
Yeah,
we
we-
just show up, you know what I mean? And
that
then we'll
way we
do
can,
our
you
stuff.
can just
Yeah.
be there.
Yeah,
So-
it is much easier because we do the we do the walk around and everything and just do and then somebody basically if you guys are all going to be there, then guys are part of the float, then we go in and we do all the filming, and then you guys can talk about it and
I just
do
need to
your
know the time. Yeah.
happy 5th anniversary.
25th. 25th.
That's Fallout, but it's 5th anniversary for
Or
76.
76.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So
like I'm
yeah,
drifting here.
Saturday is fine. It's just got to be after like 6:30, 7 o'clock Eastern.
For those that don't know what we're talking about, we're going to be celebrating the anniversary of the games, and we're doing like a float thing, so it's going to be kind of cool.
Yep.
And everybody will get to see it at some point. It's going to be on YouTube, I'm assuming. Probably.
I think it's
Well,
gonna be,
I'm sure it'll be like a live Twitch stream.
it is. It's gonna be a large they're going to broadcast it.
Yeah.
And you know who I mean by they. So,
Yeah. All of days. All of the
Yeah,
days.
all the days.
Royal
The same
days.
days
The
that
big
do everything every
days.
year.
All the days.
Yeah.
Anybody who does Fallout for Hope and all that other
Yeah.
kind of stuff and
Mhm.
knows all about that, it's all of the days.
Mhm.
And hello, we're the days.
Sounds like it's going to be fun. I mean,
Holidays, my old
it is hard to
friend.
believe it's been 5 years since we started
Five years.
It's
multiplayer
been a while.
journey.
It's been
Well,
fun.
I just remember the first time that my son and I cracked open the box when we first got it,
And you're like, what the hell is this?
no,
Where's the
we were,
NPCs?
we were waiting for it. And then, we got in it and it was just like, okay, what's this going to be about? Because I knew it had no NPCs and I was like, this is going to be weird,
Mm-hmm.
And I don't remember like a lot of people in the very beginning. Like I don't remember seeing like hordes of people, like except for him, he was in there, but it was just strange that it was
There were no NPCs.
you just talk to a robot.
Yep.
It was like, yeah.
I think
It'll
we
be
ran out of
fun.
food stuff.
I think
No,
we
we
did.
just stopped talking about it. I was thinking maybe you should tell us what your favorite food is, Texas.
My favorite food in the game?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, other
Corn
than me
soup.
eating corn soup all the time.
Is that your favorite?
You know what? I don't know if I have a favorite because, like, to me, the iguana bits thing, like, I know you're thinking about like it being humans and stuff like that, but my brain thinks of like actually cooking a lizard and making a kebab out of it, and
Uh-huh.
I've done things like that in like real life. So
Tastes like chicken, so you can make a chicken kebab. It'd be the same thing.
yeah, same diff.
Yeah.
Well, I
you,
mean,
you could just say it's
I'm
iguana.
the
It
guy
looks
that's
like
eating
chicken, but
rattlesnake.
tastes like
It's just I've had strange things to eat, and to me, I think that an iguana on a stick, chopped up in little cubes, is actually even better because I was
Oh, we
thinking
brought
an iguana
Starfield
just,
back.
and cooked up and just start peeling off and eating. Because if you were in South America, that's probably exactly what you'd do.
Mhm.
You just
Well,
put it on a stick. But
Sounds
I've had fish that way, like old school, just leave it on there and you just peel pieces of the fish off. And I've eaten rattlesnakes, and I've been in a lot of outdoorsy environments where I've eaten a lot of weird stuff. I've eaten a raccoon. Sorry, but I have. But like I've had possum stew, and that was when I was down south. But like I've eaten a lot of things that other people be like, "Oh, really?" Rocky Mountain oysters. I've had a little bit of everything.
Just as long as you can tell me you haven't chipped a tooth on a piece of buckshot in a squirrel.
No,
Oh,
I've
did you do that?
No,
I've
but it's
chipped teeth, but not on
a
that.
visual. It's a visual.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
I've
please
chipped
tell me
teeth,
it's
but
not a
not on
personal
that.
experience. No, I'm not. No.
And just a side
The
note
one of it's
to
for you.
people who like fish, carp is the biggest pain in the ass fish in the world for me to eat. There's so many bones in a carp.
Yeah, I don't eat carp.
Huh?
I don't eat carp.
No, most people don't.
Yeah.
But it's actually
Salmon's where
not
it's at.
an incredibly bad tasting fish. It's just the boniest fish I've ever eaten. Anyway, it was just, I don't know why that popped in my head, but it did. But yeah, I don't know. I think
PSA
iguana.
about fish.
If I had to pick something, I think I would really enjoy. I think it would be iguana on a stick.
I don't know. Have you seen the new Nuka food?
The new what?
The new food from the Nuka Cola on tour.
Oh, the recent updates and stuff? No.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got a whole new
What's the
foods.
big foot thing? I forgot. It's like a foot.
Oh, the claw. There's like a bear claw type thing. Oh no, that's
Not the bear
iguana?
claw.
That's
It's
the
like a foot.
gulper. The gulper foot.
Is it
Or
the gulper foot? Some. It just looks like a foot. I just can't
Gulpers
remember.
are disgusting, man. I
Right?
don't
It
know.
looks nasty. I'm like, I'm gonna gnaw on somebody's foot. Is what
I
it
never.
looks like.
Now that's one I've never even thought about food wise. Was those gulper things? Those things are gross.
Oh,
Mind you, they do look like a big lizard, but it's more like a Oh, I can't think of the name of the type of lizard that I'm thinking of, but
a gecko.
well,
They are
kind because
geckos.
of the tongue, but yeah, but I don't know. It's just gross looking to me. Maybe it's because their tongues are hanging out when they're running at you. I don't know.
now those bear claws.
So you're
Stand-
looking at there's Nuka Cola candy. There's the Yaguai pastry, which is
Mhm.
the claw. That's the
Yeah.
big claw.
Yeah.
Now that
Mhm.
that
there's
sounds good to me.
Nuka-Cola Quantum Candy, Brahmin Burger. Actually, Brahmin burgers are pretty good.
Yeah.
The
I've actually had a Brahmin burger at the Pioneer Saloon.
caramel mut fruit, carnival pie.
It looks good.
Yeah.
That looks pretty good.
Yeah, the Nuka bottle dog. The
Those are
Nuka,
cute.
the
Nuka bottle
dog.
dog? Is that like a hot
Yeah.
dog?
It's like
Uh,
the shape of a rocket. It's like
yeah.
a corn dog, but in the shape of a rocket.
I could
Very
get
cool.
with that.
There's rat scorpion kebab, fried rat roach on a stick. They can keep that. Thank you very much.
Right?
Fried scorpion on a stick. Gulper stuffed foot.
That.
Yeah,
Gulper
no, that
stuffed
does.
foot.
Yeah.
No, it's not like a stuffed jalapeno.
If they don't
man.
tell you
No.
whose foot it is, that's stuffed with gulper.
And it looks like it's stuffed with rice, and it has like at least I'm looking at the photo on Wiki. It has like salmon and it almost looks like sushi.
Is it the one that gives you the weight bonus?
Um the weight bonus. Yeah, you're asking me about the weight bonus.
Because I've actually eaten it if it is.
Uh
So you can make blood sausage?
Yeah, it's the Fashnut recipe.
mm-hmm.
I have that.
That
Yeah.
doesn't look too bad.
The Fashnak
Glove
donuts are
is where
pretty
you get
good.
it.
Yeah, the Fashnak donuts are good too.
Yeah.
Mole rat jerky. Yeah, no.
No, you don't want some desiccated mole rat?
No. I don't want it as bits, and I don't want it as
I don't want it as jerky.
as anything. Yeah.
I
Well,
don't
there's-
want it at all.
So
No
then you would
stuff,
go for
no
the
bits.
Mylark jerky instead, then, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be okay with that.
I mean, dehydrated fish. Sure. Everybody does that, right?
So I got to see what this is. It says mud cookie.
It's like
Oh, it's a
Oreo or
chocolate
something.
cookie.
Yeah, that's what the cookie jar gives you is mud cookies. They're
Like,
yummy.
is it just legit like mud?
No, it's
No.
not made out of mud. It's an actual cookie.
Oh, black water brew, Mylark egg, razor grain, and wood.
Well, you got to cook it with wood.
Yeah. Well, okay. I guess I shouldn't say
So it's a
wood when I'm looking
beer
at the
cookie.
recipes.
I'll take a beer cookie, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Ragstag stew. I wonder if that's like beef stew. You know?
No, it's like
No.
venison stew.
It's venison stew though.
Mm-hmm.
The Appalachia chili, Appa chili or whatever it is. I made
Mhm.
some of that tonight.
With
That always
pasta.
sounded kind of good.
Yeah.
Squirrel brain oatmeal or omelet. Squirrel brain omelet. That
don't think
sounds
I've
so
ever made that.
disgusting.
Because I don't kill the squirrels and the possums because they don't bother me, and the fox and stuff like that.
That's one I've never seen before, though. Squirrel brain omelet.
Probably because I don't kill squirrels. I guess that's why. Do I not? That's a recipe. I wonder if I have that.
What, the squirrel brain?
Yeah. Wonder if I have that. I should go through some.
You know what? It doesn't highlight like I can click on it. I wonder if it was an idea they had and they never did it.
No.
Courier's brain. Oh, lovely. We've reached the mindless violence portion of the program. Tell me what
Mindless
exactly
violence.
are
That's
you?
not a recipe, is
And
it?
I use the word loosely. Planning. The courier. Ever had a squirrel brain omelet? That but on a bigger scale and with bombs. So it's just a reference that was made.
Oh,
Yeah,
Mhm.
by the courier. It doesn't actually any kind of.
Yeah,
Oh.
there's no recipe for that. Not that I remember. There's squirrel
okay.
bits.
I don't
in
think I
this-
have that.
Yeah,
I
there's
thought I had.
Yeah.
I mean, every time I go to the guy that sells the recipes, he doesn't have anything new for me. Although I did find a new one from Delbert recently that I thought I had all of them, but I found a new one.
Deathclaw egg omelet.
Yep.
There you go.
Yep.
That just sounds wrong. Corn pone.
It does
That's
sound
the thing.
wrong. What is it though?
It's a pie.
It's like cornbread, but yeah, it's like the thick. You got to be Southern, I guess. Corn
Yeah.
pound. You know what corn pound is?
I'm a
apparently-
northern person. I
Portland,
was
I'm
born
a
in the north.
Californian originally, so I'm screwed.
I'm a
Boiled water,
Michigander.
corn.
I love my snow.
Yeah, you gotta have eggs and
and sugar.
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 That's a 10-pointer because you gotta make your sugar.
Yep.
Get your
The
eggs.
the s'mores is even more so.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember you have to make s'mores for your 3 times for your
Your badge.
badge. Yeah,
Mhm.
your Pioneer Scouts.
Yep.
It's like, holy crap. Gotta go get all the ingredients.
All right. Well, I think I've kind of exhausted all of the things I can find in here right now. Hermit crab meat. Wouldn't that be
Yep.
a Mirelurk though? I mean, pretty much.
No,
that's
it's actually a hermit crab. Yeah.
It is
Yeah.
a hermit crab.
He lives in a truck.
Mm-hmm.
A bunch of junk.
There's
He
only
doesn't
one in the
live
game.
anymore.
A little small bus. He lives in a small bus.
It's a delivery truck.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't it like a pizza delivery truck or something? I think I can't remember now. I want to say it was like a pizza delivery truck or an Italian restaurant or something like that.
I don't think we've ever actually noticed the truck. We know it's a trucky type of small truck thing, small bus thing, somehow whatever thing. I don't think we actually know it.
There was a guy.
Now, well, because we're trying not to die and we're killing the thing, so
Now you're gonna have to go there just to investigate, see what kind of
yes,
truck it
we
is.
Yeah,
are.
after you
Yeah.
kill it,
Yeah.
check it out.
Yeah.
So at Fashion this year, one of the Fallout 76 people actually made a costume where he was the hermit crab, and then he had this thing that he wore on his back, and it was the truck.
Oh, that's great.
Oh,
And it had wheels on it and everything, and he drug that thing around with him, and I was like, dude, that's awesome.
that's creative.
It was. He backed his bum into that thing, and he drug that cart around. I was like, oh man.
Well, if there's anybody
Great.
out there in the universe that has any recipes that I don't think there's possibility we missed any.
Well, just tell us your favorite.
Yeah, what's your
Tell us
favorite
your
recipes?
go-tos, what you like. What do you make? What's your, other than
Have you experimented with trying to
duck.
make something in real life with comparable,
Yeah.
what was that, because I know there's people that have made Nuka-Cola, and stuff like that, because
I've seen a ton of YouTube videos of people.
Yeah, I've seen that stuff.
Yeah.
I'm curious as somebody's like gone out and caught a lizard and made it an iguana steak or something.
I'm sure someone out west probably has.
I want to know the one who's out there making.
If you have, you can, send it to us in email. Is it followrtb@gmail.com, or you can
Correcto
send us
mundo.
a tweet at followrtb. And Shredz, you got you want to let everybody know how to get a hold of you, where they can find you and stuff?
Sure. Yeah, I stream 3 days a week. You can hop on over and be part of the fun. We got all kinds of different events going on there. It's at twitch.tv El Gato Pub.
All right.
The more the merrier.
Absolutely. I mean,
Mhm.
you heard of what kind of fun she has in this whole episode. Is like she's always doing something creative.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's no way you can really be bored hanging out in their group. You can find them. They got their own Discord channel and all kinds of stuff. It seems like a good fun time. All right,
We
folks.
talked
I
about that.
think that's gonna do it for us tonight. And everybody gonna say goodnight and have a wonderful time. And bye-bye.
Good night, everybody. Thank you guys so
Bye.
much for having me.
Absolutely.
for
Always.
coming.
Yeah.
Thank
Bon
you for
appetit.
coming.
No
Thank you
problem.
for
Yes,
coming.
thank you.
Good night.
Good night.
This podcast is part of the Robots Radio Rocket Club, a program designed to help all podcasts reach their full potential. For information about joining the Robots Radio Rocket Club, check out robotsradio.net.